Hi, this is Ian, the editor of Public Affairs News. It's the 9th of December 2008, and I've been at the 4th edition of the Worst Lobby Awards. So I'm now standing on stage with Erik Wesselius from Corporate Europe Observatory, which is one of the organisers of tonight's awards. So Erik, tell me how you think tonight has gone, and what the aim of the Worst Lobby Awards is.
Yes, well, I think the evening was quite a success, both in terms of numbers of people who turned up, and also I think the vote this year was quite a success. We had a record number of voters. Over 8,500 people voted for the EU Worst Lobbying Awards, and also we had a second category for Worst Conflict of Interest. I think if you look at who won, so in the Worst Lobbying category it was the agrofuels lobby. Well, first of all, they were very clear winners. They had over 50% of the vote. I think we never had such a clear winner in previous editions of the Worst Lobbying Awards. What you see is that, like last year, we had the car industry winning the Worst Lobbying Awards. This year we have the agrofuels industry. It reflects, I think, a concern among our constituency about the kind of inadequate reaction of the EU to the climate change problems that we're facing, and that people see a relation between lobbying of specific interests, like the industries that have an interest in the huge subsidies that are being handed out to agrofuels industries. So there's a lot of lobbying going on to make life easier for these industries. So I think a lot of people are very concerned about these kind of developments, where you see that the EU positions on climate change are either being directed in a direction of kind of pseudo solutions, wrong solutions, or it's about weakening EU ambitions. That's what we saw last year with the car industry and their lobby campaign to water down emissions from the passenger cars. And one final question from Public Affairs News would be that, on the one hand, when the awards were introduced, it was said that an ideal scenario would be that there was no need for the awards because lobbying was operating transparently and everyone was happy. Do you feel that there will be a fifth Worst EU Lobbying Awards in at this time next year, this time in 2009? Well, I'm sure there will be a fifth Worst EU Lobbying Awards. I'm not sure if it will be next year, because next year we might choose for slightly different, we might choose for a slightly different rhythm. So far we have done it every year. We might choose for a different rhythm, but I'm sure there will be a fifth award. Right at this very moment, we see some positive developments at the EU level in terms of the register that has been started by the European Commission. However, the organisers of the awards, as well as we're all part of Alter EU, the Alliance for Lobbying, Transparency and Ethical Regulation in the EU, we're disappointed with several aspects of the EU register, like the no names of lobbyists in the register, no good financial transparency. Well, what we see until now is that there has been a very low registration levels from the lobbying industry. There's only 3 major lobby firms that have registered so far. I think that shows that there's still a long way to go. I mean, people in the industry are saying, well, we will register. We saw a movie with some interviews with people from the lobbying industry, and they all say, well, we will register in January. Well, I'm looking forward to that, for that to happen. But then, even when they're registering,
I think there's still a lot of improvements to be made in the register. For example, if we look at the registration that Burson Marsteller did, they register a long list of clients, like over 60 clients. But the Commission gave firms the option either to declare in 50,000 euro bands or to indicate only in like 10% of their total turnover on lobbying. So all the clients of Burson Marsteller fall in category 1, which ranges between 0 and 700,000 euros, which factually means that we don't have any information about the relative weight of the different clients of Burson Marsteller. So I think that shows that the requirements that the Commission has set for the register are not sufficient to provide a level of transparency that we see in the US. That is, it's no problem for the lobbying industry in the US to meet these requirements. So I'm really looking forward to the evaluation of the Commission register next June. The Commission will have, I think it will be very hard for the Commission to avoid two conclusions. The first is that voluntary doesn't work. So far only 636 organizations have registered. That's only a fraction of the total lobbying landscape. Law firms have indicated that they won't register. Think tanks, they're also dragging the line. Lobby firms, they say they will register. Well, we'll see if they will do. They have a few months left before the evaluation. But on top of that, even when they register, I think the Commission has a job to do to kind of make clearer requirements on what needs to be registered, what needs to be published. I think these are pieces of information that it's not about kind of what is it? Now I can't find the English word, so we have to cut here. So there's no kind of company secrets involved. It's information that I think a lobby firm should be prepared to give, like general figures about who are your clients, which lobbyists are representing which clients, and kind of in very general terms. And we're happy with figures in kind of 10,000 euro bands. If companies would be prepared to give these kind of figures, we would be perfectly happy. And that's what's happening in the US, and I see no reason why this is not possible in the EU. And I think there's no reason for companies to fear to give this kind of information. It will help the public to get a better picture of what's going on in Brussels, and those companies who don't have anything to hide, they should be fine providing that kind of information. And in fact, for them, it should be a benefit that some of their competitors who might use kind of dubious practices in a mandatory registration system, they would be obliged to give this kind of information. And so, in a sense, for the good guys among the lobbyists, it would be a beneficial thing if there would be a strong register with strong requirements for all lobbyists. And finally, we think that all lobbyists should be treated equally. So lobbyists from the NGO category should be treated in a similar way as lobbyists from the corporate category. In the current register, the requirements for NGOs are, in a sense, more stringent. NGOs are asked to give their total budget. And whereas lobby firms only have to give the figure of their turnover on lobbying. So we think we're fine giving these figures, but we think that companies should be treated similar as NGOs.
Well, thank you very much, Erik. That's over and out for Public Affairs News TV for the Worst Lobby Awards 2008.
Okay.